So tonight we're talking about something that's really, really incredibly important, which is mindset mastery. And I really want to tell you how, and I know this might sound, when it says, how I fast tracked weight loss without feeling, deprived or restricted at all. And I really want to share with you guys simple steps that I took to do that. And I also, really want to help you in those next steps for yourself. So I'm Melissa Catherine. I know that everybody here knows me. For those of you that do not, I am a holistic nutritionist, a hypnotherapist, a body intuitive, international best-selling author and speaker, TEDx speaker. I've been doing this now for over a decade. I've helped thousands of women globally and personally coached privately hundreds globally to support them in not only a lasting weight loss solution, but in full food freedom, making peace with themselves, with their bodies, loving their bodies, and truly thriving in life in a body that they love. When I say thriving, I mean just living it up, going from existing to living, really seizing each day in a space of just complete adoration for who they are, for everybody in their lives, and in such gratitude. And that shift spreads its wings to their entire families, to their friends, to all their networks. And that's really the ripple effect that I want to create in the world. That's really what this is about, because I believe as women, we are the most powerful species. I love me some men, but I'm just going to say it's true. And, when we actually believe in ourselves and use our innate gifts and abilities and stand in the power of who we are without believing we are less than due to a number on the scale or what somebody told us or because of something that somebody said, girl, we can change the world. And I see it, and I see it with my clients, and I see the ripple effect. Their husbands are different because of the work that they do with me and in our programs, and because of the sisterhood created here. Their lives are different. They impact their coworkers. They become sources of inspiration and light for others, and they go on and want to do bigger and more incredible things in this world. And I'm so fortunate to say that when I have the honor of supporting them, it gives them the wings to fly. And then they have the courage, the inner strength, and the belief within themselves to go and do those things that they never thought they'd be doing, but always felt this pull inside them, but didn't even know what it looked like until we started that process. So I know we often just sit here and just think it's just about the weight. And I'm going to tell you, it's never just about the weight. It's really, the weight is a result of things that you're really wanting to be doing and expressing in your life that has been suppressed for years, decades, and for most women, most of their lives. I know for me, it really, it really started at age 5, was really started to show itself with my weight around age 10. And then I started to make it all about my body. But it really started for me at age 5, and we have different things that happen in our formative years and different influences and people in our lives. And when that happens, it impacts us.
I don't know what.
So
something fell into the. I put it in at 6:10. Been in for an hour.
I'm like, somebody just started speaking. I don't know how that happened. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you because that's really what I do. And, I've tried to encapsulate what my work is, and weight loss doesn't really do it justice. So by the time women are done working with me, they just go, oh, the weight was a byproduct of everything else that we've done together. When they always sign up for weight loss, it ends up by the time they're done, it's like, oh yeah, and then that was great too, and that's an amazing thing because that means you're fully happy and your heart's full and your life is full. So we fill those gaps. I always say where there's lack, you will fill the gaps with food. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is a lot of looking at those gaps. And if at any time I really want to say this, Lori girl, it is so good to see you. Another Weight Loss for Life member. I cannot wait for you guys to all meet each other because it is going to, It's going to be so magical and so incredible. If at any time you have questions when I'm talking or something doesn't make sense, simply just put it in the chat box. If you need me to repeat something, just simply put it in the chat box. I'm happy to do that. I know that I get really excited and passionate, and I also know there's so much that I want to cover, and I have a tendency to keep you guys on a little bit longer than I tell you I will, but it's always for a good reason. It always is. So, okay, here's what we are doing. This is my zodiac. We've got to turn her around. If we didn't notice, I love, ooh, that is my brassiere. What am I, from like 1960? 1920. Okay, that's my zodiac because my birthday is coming up, and April 18th. Are there any other Aries in here? Anybody else that's an Aries, and anybody else that just happens to like diamonds? It's my birthstone, but lucky for the men in my life. Yes. So any other Aries, any other birthdays that are coming up? Dawn. Oh yes, we talked about this, girl. Okay, I love that. I love Aries. Obviously, because I'm an Aries, but let's be honest here, I just like birthdays. So I just want to know whose birthdays are coming up. And just birthdays in general. Yes. Okay, so, Sue-Ann, what's going on, girl? It is so good to see you. Sue-Ann's a cat lover. And her cat emojis just bring me joy. Okay, so Sue-Ann, it's so good to have you. Oh my God, she's a little treat for you guys later on. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to dive in. Does anybody, if you have a question around mindset, so before we get started, I want this to be interactive for you. Tonight, what I want you to know that we're going to be talking about is mindset mastery for fast weight loss. So I'm going to be taking you guys through the exact 3 steps I took to drop weight fast without feeling deprived or hungry. Right? So you know this. Last week, if you were with me, week 2 was ending overeating, right? And I took you through the steps that I did to end overeating and break that pattern for good without dieting like crazy, okay? So last week we went through how to stop a binge in its tracks, why your mind is keeping you stuck, and how your body is holding on to fat and how to let it go, okay? So that's what we did in week 2. In week 1, we went through mindset mastery, how I rediscovered myself and lost 10 pounds in a month without giving up bread, carbs, or compromising any of the foods that I love, right? So in these past 3 weeks, we've done 3 bite-sized classes created to put you into action to get real results in 3 weeks' time. And the results and emails that I've been getting from you guys, it's amazing to me how many of you, when you actually just take on what I'm saying, are getting and seeing and feeling results. So you're not only having the awareness, but you're reaping the benefits. And the emails that I'm getting are, this is so easy and I'm not doing anything different, but I'm noticing already in 3 weeks my body's changing, right? Like Jesse sent that in this morning. And I was sitting there and I was like, amazing, keep going, right? Sarah Twindle. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your last name. I think it's Twindle. You've got an L in here. She just said these past 3 weeks have been amazing for me. I was so sad that week 2 wasn't recorded because I took so many notes. I know, trust me, I was devastated. Really, really devastated because it was such a good one. I took so many notes, and it's true. This process has been effortless and easy. I'm scared after these 3 weeks that I'm not going to be able to stick with it. Girl, that's why you got to join these other women in weight loss for life. That's where you're going to stick with it. That's where you're going to get those 9 months with me. Think if this is what we did in 3 weeks, imagine where you will be in 9 months. And for everybody that's already in, you know where you're going. And you know I'm going to hold you to it. So I just really want you to get, in 3 weeks, we've been doing a lot, right? And if you missed it all before this, we have a 3-part webinar series. You can simply go to melissacatherine.com/video series. to watch the 3 videos preceding this 3-week set of webinars. So I know many of you were upset that they weren't available longer. And I do want to tell you that we did keep the video series up longer. For those of you that weren't able to see week 2 or take more advantage of this. So tonight what we're doing, like I said, is Mindset Mastery for fast weight loss. The exact 3 steps that I took to drop weight fast without feeling deprived or hungry. So tonight what I'm going to be showing you is how to take back control of your thoughts, right? How to make food your friend. So losing weight no matter what you eat. And you've heard me say this before. It's not about the food you're eating. It's about the amount of food you're eating during that time. It's not the brownie, it's not the pizza, it's not the cookies, it's not the bread, it's not the pasta, it's not the ice cream, right? It's the amount and the meaning that you've given it. And we're going to really touch on that tonight because that's something that you have to hear. And the third piece is feel mentally and emotionally from food with this technique. So I'm really going to show you this process that I do that's really, really powerful. You're going to really want to stay on until the end of this. You know that I jam pack it all in, and everything that comes out, which was what I always hear, is it's nonstop golden nuggets, and that your hands are like, wait, please hold on. And that's why we always give you the replay. So I just want to take you through that. So if you have any questions, again, put them in the chat box. If I say anything that's really resonating with you, I'd love to hear it. I often will ask you for hell yeses and hell no's if things are resonating with you. And I like to know that things are speaking to you. So first and foremost, how do we take back control of our thoughts? When we're really sitting here and we're going, okay, I want weight loss. I know you guys don't want to sit there. Lady, I know that the last thing that you want when you've been wanting to lose weight for most of your life is to sit there and go, how long is this going to take? You know, like, can't I just wake up in the body already? In my mind, I've been dieting for the past, you know, anywhere from 20, 30 up to 50 years of my life. Take the weight off me already and let me just live free. I get it. And I also want to tell you, didn't put the weight on overnight. So we actually have to take it off. And I really want to start by saying this. In order to take back control of your thoughts, it starts with compassion and forgiveness. And then I'm going to bring you through a mindset technique that we're going to do. Why would we start with compassion and forgiveness? Well, because if you don't come from a loving space mentally, you will not, like I was talking with somebody earlier, as you know, I'm a hypnotherapist, and I was talking to someone, and she said, oh God, who was it earlier this week? I've talked with so many women, just such beautiful women. I'm so blessed. She said, I tried hypnosis and it just didn't work for me. It just wasn't possible. Oh yes. Okay, Kim. And I said to her, it's not, hypnosis works. It does. Some people, now there are really crappy hypnotherapists, I will say that. But when I will say that it does not work and can be challenging and may need a few visits for you to build trust and rapport with that person, is if your mind is really strong and you don't really at your core want to change or let this go, even if on a conscious level you do, but on a subconscious level you are really heavily resisting it, then you will block. You will literally put up a mental blockade around yourself and around your thoughts. So that means you can sit and say affirmations and all of these different things, but they will just be words. So in order to take back control of your thoughts, one of the first things that I've really found that's really powerful before we move into changing behaviors is if you're somebody that struggles with, you know, really being conscious of your thoughts. Now, there are some people that can go, I'm really conscious of my thoughts and I'm really good at saying, right, I teach my clients, say, cancel, clear, delete. When you hear something negative come in, you repeat the phrase and write this down, cancel, clear, delete. So if a thought, a belief gets created within 17 seconds, 17 seconds. So you have 17 seconds to create a positive thought or a negative thought. So when you're thinking something and you start to go, God, I look like crap. Stop the thought before it happens and go, cancel, clear, delete that. I look beautiful today. I'm so in love with blank about myself. I have my health. I have 2 legs. I have my eyesight and I can hear. I am blessed beyond measure. We bring it down to a place of where you can actually reap the benefits of a place of compassion. You're not going to be like, God, I look like a supermodel, don't I? No, because your mind will be like, no, because you won't believe it. So it's just going to be you saying words. I'm thin, I lose weight easily, and I'm dropping, 10 pounds a week. Like it's like saying you're a millionaire when you have money scarcity issues. It's just going to be words. You'll just be repeating the mantra, I'm a millionaire, but you'll never get there because you don't actually believe it. You're not vibrating at that level. So to take back control of our thoughts, 1, write down forgiveness, compassion. Forgiveness equals compassion. We have to not bring the past into the present moment. How many of you are waking up right now remembering what you ate yesterday, remembering whether you worked out or didn't yesterday, and carrying a lot of emotional baggage, and guilt or shame around food choices and thoughts and negative thinking and other things and anything that you had from yesterday? Right? How many of you? Put in the chat box. Me, yes. Anybody else other than Linda Bueller? Great. Okay. So yeah, right? So what are you doing? You're bringing yesterday, Debbie, great. Jamie, yes. What's up, girl? Yes. So you're bringing yesterday into today. So what does that do? That's detracting the energy of today, the essence and power of today and what you can create. Guys, you are the creator of your reality. Elisa says about not exercising, for sure. Yes, whatever you are bringing in from the day before, that is impacting your energy and happiness in today, then that is going to detract from your joy. I call these joy stealers. Okay? And when we have joy stealers, it makes it really hard to create from a place of love, right? There are only 2 human emotions, love and fear. And when we are operating from fear, we are blocking love. What brings effortless weight loss is love, right? Fear will block us. So I really, really want you to hear that and see the difference and be in that space of, okay, well, I really want to come in with a clean slate each day. Just like your partner, or you walk into work, or your kids or your best friends, you don't want them still mad at you from the last time you guys got in a fight. How much fun would that be if every time you met them, you were like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. And they were like, what's up? Yeah. Yep. No, it's fine. It's fine. You'd be like, this is not fun. I don't want to see you. You're bringing me down. You're making me upset. What did I do? You're making me feel bad. So you're doing that to yourself each day. So instead of embracing you and waking up with, oh my God, right? Today's a new day. I've got nothing bothering me from the past. There is nothing here. So it's really cold in the room that I'm in. Hence my fuzzy sweater. There's nothing nothing is bothering me from the past. Today is a blank slate. What can I create? The world is my oyster. Do you know what you would do with that if you never had anything? So I really want to encourage you to meet yourself with compassion and forgiveness. Choose to wake up each day. And when you notice those thoughts, go cancel, clear, delete. Today's a new day, and it's going to be one of the best days of my life. It's going to be one of the best days of my life because I said so. Why wouldn't it be? I've got nothing holding me back, right? Because that's the truth. When you start with a clean slate, nothing is holding you back. Really think about that, right? So when we're looking at step 1, how to control our thoughts, we simply choose to release them and only live in the present moment. Easier said than done, I know. But when you're conscious of it and aware of it, you can be with yourself in that space. And then you can move forward from that space. But you can never move forward always looking in a rearview mirror, right? You can only move forward when you're looking straight ahead. When you look straight ahead, everything and anything is possible. Opportunity surrounds you everywhere. Happiness is waiting for you, right? You don't know. But when you're looking in a rearview mirror, you never move forward. You're just waiting to bump into something, right? And you're living in regret and from a place that isn't serving you. Hell yes, right? Yeah, absolutely, girl. Thank you for the hell yes. Yes, and that's where we really want to move away from, right? Because again, it's not serving us. So I really want you to pay attention to that. So the practice of releasing and taking control of our thoughts in the present moment comes down to recognizing the thought, not letting it form. There's a great book by Joseph Campbell that's The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And he speaks about this. It's one of the most powerful books. And he speaks about this. And he says, if you can catch yourself in those 17 seconds and turn a negative belief into a positive, you can truly begin the process of reprogramming your subconscious mind and ridding yourself of those 80,000 thoughts that are on a loop from all the preceding years that you bring into you each day, half of which are negative programming, right? So just think about that. If each time a negative thought comes up, you just go, that's not true. And the second step to this is being in a place of calling yourself out and saying it out loud and going, that is not my truth. My truth is I lose weight easily. My truth is today's going to be a great day. Who says it's not? How could it not be? Nothing's happened yet. I create my reality, and it's because I said so. Today's going to be a great day. I want you to actually do this exercise tomorrow and then post in the Done with Dieting group. Write this down. I want you to actually wake up tomorrow and hear everything that I'm saying and do what we're talking about on this video. And I actually want you to sit there and say, today is going to be a great day. And I want that to be your mantra. Today's going to be one of the best days of my life. Today's going to be one of the best days of my life. You don't have to have any preconceived notions around why or what one of the best days of your life even has involved in it. You just let it flow. But see what happens tomorrow and post in the Done with Dieting group this time tomorrow night what happened to you. Because I guarantee shit's going to get fun. It's going to get real. And it's going to be awesome. Let the universe light its path for you. All you need to do is say yes and follow, right? It's a pretty glorious thing, and this will show you exactly what I'm talking about. And even if you spill coffee on yourself, trip on the way out, somebody yells at you, just go, today's going to be a great day. Today's a great day. And just keep affirming it in the positive, in the present moment. It's not, so today's a great day. So instead of it's going to be, today's a great day. Today is one of the best days of my life. Today's an amazing day. Today, right? Amazing. That's what you want to do, right? Okay, so when we are doing that, like I said, I don't want you to be in the practice of bringing yesterday into today, because that only causes, like I said, it causes more harm than good. And what I'm going to do right now is I actually want to bring on, I love me some guests. I want to bring on Sue-Ann. So Sue-Ann is such an amazing person to speak to this and to speak to what happens when we start really making peace with the past, letting it go, and being in conscious creation of what we want to create now and how to do that, and really what that was for her. So hold on 1 second. Let me go over here. What just happened? Can everybody see me? I don't know what just happened. All right. Oh my God, that was so not okay. But you can hear me now. All right, I'm back. Yes, and you can see me. I'm like, wait, no, this just happened last week. Oh my God. All right. All right. Sue-Ann, I'm going to try this one more time. I'm kind of scared too. I want to bring you on, but I'm worried we're going to lose people. Okay. Sorry, love. I am trying to see. You are not a panelist. And I'm trying to make you one. Guys, give me 1 second to try to figure this out. Yeah, Heather's trying to help me. Heather's like my go-to. I don't know, because I know. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sue-Ann, we had sent you a panelist link, a certain link to use that wasn't used. All right. Hold on. It's okay, girl. Let me just figure this out, guys. I'm really sorry. If you don't mind, everybody that's on, just wait 1 second. I just am going to try this one more time. Okay, there we go. I think I did it. Are we proud of me? We should be. All right, Sue-Ann, you should be coming on in a minute, girl. This has not been all right. So I don't know, but I want to make sure. Okay, so Sue-Ann, I just need you to unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Okay.
There you are. And if you could just raise your volume.
Okay.
Can you get a little bit louder?
That's as far as it'll go.
That's as far as it goes?
Yeah, I'm on my iPad, and I've taken it all the way up.
Oh no, that's great. That's great. Okay. So, all right, girl, it is so good to have you here. My apologies. Okay, so we don't have you on video, so I'll just bring me back to the main gallery. But we have you on audio, and that's perfect. So, Sue-Ann, I wanted to bring on Sue-Ann. I think it's and I say this in all the webinars, I think it's just so wonderful when you can meet somebody that's been a part of Weight Loss for Life, and honestly can speak to the experience, but can share about her own, and you can hear from somebody who's been there, who's done it, and what their experience was and their transformation, how this applies to this webinar so much, and how what we did and what we do and what I'm showing you tonight works. So Sue-Ann, can you tell everybody, first off, thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
Are you still there? So girl, can you share with everybody a little bit about what your life was like before you started the program and where you were?
I'm not sure you have that much time, but I'll try.
Just more of a synopsis of just like an overview of just kind of where you were in terms of your health, your happiness, your life, and your view on life, and just your general contentment and peace with it, and where your beliefs around food, and just around mindset and co-creation of your experience.
Okay, my mindset when I first talked to you was not very good. I was on a downward path, not knowing where to go. I had been dieting for 40 years, and the whole idea of being able to stop dieting was probably one of the major things I was looking at to start with. Now, so much more has happened, and you're right. It was never about the food. I don't know that I believed that to start with. In fact, I don't know that I believed everything until I came to the first meeting in San Diego and met you.
Yeah, we do. So in the Weight Loss for Life program, there's 2 in-person retreats that take place. And Sue Ann saw firsthand the power of those and what we do. They're pretty incredible, right?
Yes, definitely. It all, when you diet for as long as I have, and I am almost 65 now.
Yeah.
And when you diet for 40 years, for someone to say it's not about the food, you don't believe it. And I don't know that I believed it even when I joined the program. I was drawn to you. You are a very powerful person, even over the telephone. And I felt like you could help me. And it was an amazing trip. You took me out of a very, very deep hole. And I'm not sure I'd be around now, quite simply.
Yeah. So Sue Ann had lost her daughter. I don't want to speak for you, but it was a very traumatic experience. So there was a lot of healing and beautiful experiences together. We had
a lot of guilt, and that whole month that we spent on loving yourself.
Yeah.
I was not loving myself, and I don't know that I believed it would really make a difference, but it did. Through the couple of books that I've read, through all of the wonderful people that were in our group.
Yeah.
It all came together in ways that I would have never thought it would be.
Yeah. So how are you, when we talk about, and I do so much in terms of mindset and our relationship to ourselves and to food, I'll never forget when you started to go, Melissa, it's just all happening. The weight's coming off. It's so easy. I'm not even thinking about food. And I'm creating, right? And we started talking about your card business and like other things that you were wanting to do, and this other joy that you were experiencing in life. What shifted for you?
I think I finally believed you and applied what you asked us to do. And that was a really hard thing for me to do. But once I understood where we were going and my mindset changed, then I was open to what you were saying.
Yeah.
And then it took me a while. The weight didn't just come off, but that was so much not a part of my transformation initially. And if I hadn't had the mindset change, I would have not ever gotten any further.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing.
Well, and Sue Ann speaks to such a great point, and that's when it's always hard for me to say because, as you guys heard from Diane, last week, her experience was the weight loss came off, within that first 90 days. Same thing with Rebecca, and Tanya, like 6 months later. It all depends. It all depends on your journey too. But what you will hear all the women saying is, in order to really lose it and keep it off, that mindset has to be shifted. Right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's kind of amazing, as I went through the program with the other women, it just kind of followed and made more sense. But I have to say, the times I had trouble were the times that I was not committed to the program. And you would bring us out, when you would talk to us, it was, are you really doing everything that we've talked about and you need to do? Yeah. And it was kind of like, I didn't believe it could happen. And once I took everything that I'd learned, it was incredibly different and easy. And I don't think about food now. I don't wake up thinking about food. When I go out to eat, I know what is good for me, and it's not choosing the hot fudge sundae. If I want that, then I would choose that. Yeah. But I think the difference is I'm making the choices now myself, instead of
hallelujah, girl,
something else.
Yeah, guys, we've all dieted for so long. Being told what to eat, you're kind of over it. As much as you say you want to plan, you'll only follow it for a little bit before you want to rebel against it and not follow it anymore. So it has to be you choosing it. And it's actually a really cool process to figure out what you like Sue Ann's talking about, and having those choices, but knowing you can have what you want. That's always what I say. I'm not taking the food away from you. I'm not going to take it at all. We just desensitize it, so there's no emotional attachment. So Sue Ann, I would love to know if you could just share, what is, did you have any hesitations before signing up? I know you and I connected, and I'll never forget, you were just like, I do not trust anyone.
I did say that. That's true. At that point, I did not trust anyone, and your voice over the phone had me trusting you. I've never experienced that before, and and I did have reservations, not only because I've been dieting forever, but there was some little piece of me that thought that I ought to be able to let my body tell me what is good for me and what I want to eat. There was always some part of me wanting that, but diet after diet, would tell me what to do and not to do, and all of this. And I hadn't really realized that I had to love me and care about me and care what I did, what I ate. All of that was mixed up in there together. But I did have hesitation. I didn't trust anyone, and I had no real reason to think that this would be any different. But what turned me was talking to you. That and to be quite honest, even after I got in, I went to the first retreat to make sure that you were exactly what I heard. And you were that and more and more. It, I don't know, that and meeting all the other people. And I think that's the other special thing about the group we were in, is that all of us, let our souls be bared to where we got down so deep, and talked about things in the group that I'd never talked to anybody about. because all of us had different problems, and all of us worked together, and it was also a group effort. It was not something that I could have done by myself. It's not something I could have done with just you. It took all of us to do it. And still it's an ongoing process. That's the thing that even at the last retreat, I kind of wondered if, you know, when the time was up, then, okay, what then? You know, and all the lessons are still there. You know, it doesn't end. This isn't a program that you start and you stop. It's a program for life, which again, you know, it wasn't kind of till the end till I actually got that for life part, and it was all happening. But it's still a struggle. You know, anyone that thinks it's not a struggle is probably fooling themselves. But you have to let it go and understand, and not try to put all these other diet things in on this. It's not like that. It is just so different from anything that I'd ever experienced.
Yeah. So when we talk about weight loss for life, I always tell people, you know, it becomes your lifestyle. It becomes who you are. It becomes the way that you are. So this idea, a lot of people talk about, right? Like work. And one of the coolest things that we see is this a true sisterhood where you're able to really say things and share things. And, you know, women come in at a point where they're just like, I am so ready. And that's when those changes happen. And that's what you keep hearing about. But I always say, you know, this isn't just, you know, you don't just ever, I wake up every day and I choose me. I wake up every day and I choose to move my body. I wake up and I choose, it's not like I'm always going to the gym and doing this and doing that, but I'm conscious because it feels good for me, right? But it becomes your new identity. And that's really what Sue-Ann's talking about, is that space of where it becomes a way of being, where, you know, other programs and things, it's like, oh, okay, well, this ends and that's that. And now I can go back to the old me. And it's like, no, there's no old you, right, Sue-Ann? Like I always say, there's no you now. There's like, you're no longer even who you were 3 weeks ago.
That's true.
Yeah. And so you're always working off of that space. And once you get to where you want to be, there's always the evolution of self. And you've seen that and heard that from the women in the program, or that had gone through the program, just about the different phases that they're now on in their lives and the other things that they're wanting. So, Sue-Ann, I want to ask you, what was it that made you be a yes?
The initial thing was talking to you. I have to come back to that.
Oh, yeah.
I was in a place where I'm not sure I cared about a whole lot, and things I wouldn't have believed this before, and you had said it quite a bit. There are things that happen for a reason. Now, I don't know that I would have believed that, because I would have thought that my daughter had died for a reason, and I don't believe that. But you were there when I needed you, and I was at the point to where I needed you, and you convinced me. I don't, you know, just talking to you over the phone, you know, I can see you now, and it's like, oh, you're everything that we all thought. But on the phone, you just made me hope. Maybe that's it. Maybe there was hope. There was not only hope for, you know, the guilt and upset that I had, but hope for a brighter future. And at the time, I did not have a whole lot of that. I guess I come back to hope. And talking to you, you know, the yes came from talking to you. And then the program that followed, and I can't say too much how important it is with all of us together, because all of us had different places we came from, all of us shared, and all of that together is what made it work, because there wasn't just one or two of us. You know, there was a group of us that all had our problems, and we learned from each other besides learning from you.
Yeah, I remember at the retreats, I would go, God, we're all so different, and yet we're all so the same. And the support is, it's incredible, and just shows the power of sisterhood. And so, you know, the older we get, we lose that, and our worlds become really small. And whether, you know, if you're married and kids and the busyness of that, and just in general, your world gets smaller, and having support and community that gets you and that you can openly share with and completely understand and bare your soul like that at any time of day, it's powerful. Sue-Ann, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for, you know, your words of wisdom and for being here today. You're awesome, girl.
Not a problem. I appreciate all the help that you've given me and the program, and I would not be where I am today if it weren't for you in the program.
Oh my God. Well, thank you. And you know, I just see you as such a gift in my life. So thank you so much.
Love you.
Oh, love you too, girl. All right. I'm going to move us along. I could keep talking to Sue-Ann forever. So I'm going to, okay. And what I want to do is, you know, I want to keep us on track. So we want to move to step number 2. So I just want you to know, and I am going to say this. If you are on the fence about weight loss for life, make sure to apply. Orientation begins on Monday. So if you want this opportunity and you want to see if this is the right next step for you, then simply apply here and get on my calendar, and we can talk and see if it's right. I've spoken to people, and it's absolutely been 1,000% right. And I've spoken with other people, and I've said, you know, I don't think now is the time. And I will be very, very honest with you. But if you're feeling compelled and you're hearing these women and you're just going, I am ready and I'm wanting a change, and I really want I want big changes in this next 9 months. I don't want to be where I am right now, and I'm ready for it. Then this is your chance. And this is when you want to do it with me live, because I only run this one time a year. And so you want to get on that now. So Heather will post that link, and you can get on my calendar as well. We don't have many times open, but you're welcome to the ones that are there. And if not with me, then you can talk to my team. So the second step here that I want to tell you is, how do we make food your friend so that you can lose weight no matter what you eat? This is huge, ladies. And I want to tell you why. There is this limiting belief that you have around the foods that you can eat, and where you believe that carbs make you fat, and you know, every type of sugar is putting fat on. And I can say I could go on. I'm going to do a whole webinar just on sugar. But when it comes to this, I really want you to get making food your friend. This is going to be, now we go in depth about this in Weight Loss for Life, where we actually take the emotion out of food. We go through the process of conquering your cravings, fully dissecting them, understanding where they live, where they come from, what they are, what are your emotional exact ties, but then really learning and getting you to a space of not having good foods or bad foods. But knowing what your body's wanting and being that connected to your body that you can tell automatically, not just through gas or bloating, but you will be so in tune that you will know, you will feel it the minute it hits your tongue, and you'll go, my body didn't want that. And it could be something you think you've loved your entire life, and all of a sudden you could go, this is so weird. I just had that or this. I'm so in tune with my body that I now can have something as random as like blueberries and know that at that time, my body's like over the maxed on fructose and doesn't need any more. Or, you know, I can go and have, you know, I'm just making something up, like I'll go and have pizza or something, and I'll know, and I'll be like, wow, my body's really enjoying this right now. This is really good. It feels really good for me. But I'll know, I'll know when that point of when it won't feel good anymore. And I'll go, okay, I had a slice, or I had 2 and I'm good and I'm done. Right. So it's not about the food. It's not any of the food that's actually put the weight on. It's that you've eaten more than what your body needs and can process at that given time. And then it puts weight on. And what happens is then you feel crappy. So you end up ingesting this food, you eat too much of it. So it gives you a high spike in sugar, right? Your insulin goes through the roof, cortisol is raised. And then what happens? Then you have the dip. So the dip is synonymous with like a wine hangover. Have you a wine hangover where you actually just feel negative and like gross, right? So if you am I the only person that's had a wine hangover? Somebody tell me that you have. You have a wine hangover. Thank you. All right. So when you have a wine hangover, it just feels really, really crappy inside. So thank you. All right. I'm like, ladies, I need some help up in here because I'm sounding like an alcoholic. So thanks, guys. So when you have a wine hangover, did you notice you're really negative? Not only do you kind of you feel like an endless pit, you could just keep eating. You're craving more sugar because you just drank a ton of sugar the night before. And you're really beating yourself up. I mean, extra. You already are beating yourself up, but now you're really beating yourself up. Well, this happens when we overeat sugar. And then, so when you overeat sugar, you go into basically a wine hangover. Okay. Thank you. What the hell? Yes. Yes, ladies. So I'm going to feed you all wine at our next retreat. I'm kidding. I would not do that unless you asked me to. Oh my God. Wait, who just heard me? All right. Sue Ann, I think you're on me. I've got to mute you. Was that just, I think that was just you laughing, but that was perfect. That was hysterical. Yeah. So, but what I will feed you is tequila, if you should ask. I will share that with you because that's actually good for you from a health standpoint. It has antibacterial properties and does not give a hangover. And it's non-mood altering unless, again, you add it to sugary drinks and make it not good for you. But whenever I go to a health conference, they serve tequila, and it's really funny to me. So tequila and then red wine for resveratrol. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to dial it back in. I can tell you all the tips and different things like that, and I will get into that more in the program and in other things. But we're going to keep this dialed into tonight's webinar. So what I really want to share with you is, you're getting into that space where when you're overeating, that sugar takes over, you beat yourself up, and then you're coupling the sugar hangover with the negative voice. We're going to have it be like a spaceship that comes in and is like, and this just comes in and attacks you as a whole. Well, just think about this. If you're being attacked from every direction, negativity breeds negativity. So what do you think happens? You want to go and eat more. And then you tell yourself what an awful person you are. And you're such a bad person for having overeaten. Yes, you're horrific. You treat yourself, and I did this too, like somehow like we just, are like abducted children or something and done something like really bad. Like, I don't even know, but the self-torture and what goes on in our heads is so not okay, right? That's what we have to put a stop to. So how do we take foods from good foods versus bad foods when we've actually started that process when we were children, right? We started this process so long ago. So as a hypnotherapist, there's a lot of different techniques that we teach. And in Weight Loss for Life, we're actually going where I actually bring you through the process of teaching you self-hypnosis and how to do this. And we extensively go into mindset repatterning and retraining. So there's a few things that happen. One, if you're really, really hell-bent and very strong in your mind. So I was this person. I was the person that had such a strong mindset that like other fellow hypnotherapists were like, okay, I need to penetrate your subconscious mind. And I was like, well, I don't believe this is going to work, even though I was studying to be a hypnotherapist. So this is how strong my mind was against allowing me the transformation that I so desperately was seeking, right? Like really, really like adamantly being like, no, I'm going to transform the way I think. Well, in order to do that, what I saw for myself and what I teach anybody that has that has that aspect, that persona within them, is there's two types. So there's some that can take it on and really do the cancel, clear, delete, and be very, very diligent about that. And there's others where the negativity is so strong and so deep within them. And that usually comes if you've come from trauma, right? The negativity, because we build such a strong defense, because we become our own protector, because nobody was there to protect us. So it's like, I am strong. Don't you try to tell me, I'm going to take care of us, even though it's not helping us anymore. Just like food no longer is the safety blanket, right? It's now hurting us instead of helping us. So you've got the negative mind that thinks it's like, I am protecting the walls of, right? Like I'm making myself like an angry man. I'm like, I am protecting the walls. So I just want you to think of it this way. You're this beautiful kingdom. Okay, this is going to be my analogy. You're this beautiful kingdom. And then there's the door, the door, you know, am I serious? Did I have tequila before I came on the webinar? We don't know. I could have. No, I did not. But so we have the drawbridge. Thank you. The drawbridge. Okay. I'm talking to myself. So we have the drawbridge. I'm not though. I'm talking to all of you. Thank you, Julie. We have the drawbridge. Seriously. So I want you to think about the drawbridge. So you've got the protectors in front, right? And then you've got people that are coming on. So we've got, you know, your negativity, and it's wanting to come in, or your negativity. We've got, this different patterning of beliefs. So we've got hypnosis, we've got all of these positive things that you're hearing that are saying, come and do this and do this. Well, then you've got the protector of the kingdom. The protector of the kingdom is, I hate to say this, but I really want you to get that this is that piece of you that's the negative mind. That's like, no, I've got this, I can handle this, because it's been doing it for so long. So if you've come from trauma, it can even be even stronger and be that much more challenging to remove. Now, it's not that you can't do it, because I work with people from trauma all the time, have people from trauma in my programs. I myself came from it, not at all. But what we have to do is we have to come at it from a different angle. So instead of just coming up to, you know, the protector of the gate and saying, I'm going to hypnotize you, and I'm going to feed you things that are, I'm going to tell you words that are going to change you, and I'm going to say cancel, clear, delete, and then come back at you with these beautiful analogies and positive intentions and affirmations that are going to help you, right? So for some of you that will work. Well, for others of you, what you're going to need to do is take action instead. And it's going to be that repetition of action, different behaviors that are going to give you the change in the mental mindset, in the words that you say to yourself, and in the way that you respond. Does this make sense? Because I just gave you a lot of analogies, and then I threw me and tequila in there, and I did a drawbridge and a moat. So I want to make sure that this is making sense. So again, what I was really breaking down for you is that in this process of shifting, and really becoming how to make friends with food, we have to recognize that we have to go back to that concept of good foods versus bad foods and start to actually shift our relationship. So we shift our relationship in one of two ways. We either shift it through words and stopping ourselves in the moment where we're going, okay, I want to go and have a brownie. And then it's like, no, I've been bad today. I had this brownie, I was bad. And going, we haven't been bad. We're just consciously going to eat this and make it a choice and be okay with it. And actually say to ourselves, and this is powerful for you to notice, really say to ourselves, and this is something, again, that we go in depth in the program about shifting our relationship with food, but really saying, my body, I'm about to eat this brownie, and my body loves what I'm about to eat. May what I'm about to eat nourish my body completely, and what my body doesn't love, let it be released with ease. I'm about to eat this brownie, right? Just sitting there and just going, I'm really going to enjoy this brownie. I'm going to sit down, undistracted, enjoy this brownie, and consciously choose it. I'm going to choose it from a place of consciousness. and choose it and sit down with it and be okay with it, right? And when the voice in your head comes up as, oh my God, I'm so bad, I can't believe I just ate that, right? Which usually is the onset within 5 seconds afterwards. Just want to say, I chose to eat this, right? I chose to eat this. This food has no bearing on my weight. I can eat brownies without gaining an ounce. My body is fully nourished from this brownie. I don't care if it's a brownie in front of you, a zucchini in front of you, or a pile of spinach, or a piece of pizza. Your body, your mind doesn't know the difference between dream and reality. It doesn't know the difference between what you tell it and what the truth is. So you want to feed it what you want to be true. How great would it be if you can eat brownies and have absolutely no guilt, no shame, no weight gain? And you won't if you end up setting yourself up for success with it. The only time you want to eat the brownie and keep eating the brownies is when you feel bad for the brownie. And then you have a story around the brownie, and it's usually when the brownie is on your bad food list, that once you have it, you've told yourself you've already ruined your diet, and then you want to eat a whole pan of them, because when are you ever going to get your brownies again? Guys, we live here in the United States. We can get our brownies, or in the world generally, unless you are in a third world country, you can have a brownie whenever you want a brownie, right? So the next step to this piece in making food your friend that I really want you to get is, it's not only sitting down undistracted with the food in front of you and make it a conscious choice, as opposed to eating out of autopilot, right? Or eating out of emotion, but actually saying, I really want that. Another great tip and tool is when you're really wanting something and craving it at night, right? Which is when you generally do. And I asked you all, I said, when do you really have that cravings? And it's around 4 o'clock, and then in the evening hours. Tell yourself that you can have it, but you're going to wait until the morning, and you can eat that brownie for breakfast. You can eat whatever you want for breakfast. You can have the brownie if you want, or French toast with whipped cream, or chocolate chip pancakes, or you can go and have whatever. But tell yourself, I'm not going to eat it right now. If I'm full, I don't want it. So you know what? I'm going to let myself sleep on it. And if I really want it in the morning, then I'm going to have it. That's how we start changing our behaviors in our relationship. Because then you'll start to notice that when you wake up in the morning and you really say, body, do I want a brownie right now? You might. And it's better to have the brownie in the morning, give yourself that energy, than before you go to bed, right? Or have the whole pan, which is what you would have done, or multiple. But have it during the day, or what you're going to find is you don't really want the brownie. And then you can tell yourself, I'll have the brownie at lunch if I still want it then. So then you're giving yourself the choice, and what you're doing is exactly what we talked about with Sue-Ann, where you're empowered around food. Instead of food taking your power, you're the one in control. Do you see the difference? So that's a really important piece. It's about drawing a line in the sand around you and food, where you start to just go, I'm in control. I'm going to consciously put food on my plate, and I'm going to have it, and I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to enjoy it. Right? And I'm going to do it undistracted. I'm going to be present to it. And I'm going to tell my body, I'm going to say a little prayer, or I'm just going to simply, have a connection with this food and say, this food is fully nourishing me. Let me eat until I'm hungry. I'll stop when I'm full. And let me release what does not serve me with ease. Right? And then we're in a space of, I'm empowered. I'm in control around what I'm eating. So that being said, somebody that's, again, done this amazingly well, I want to bring on for us, you're going to love my other guest here. This is Julie.
Hello.
What's going on, girl? Wait.
I'm good.
Do you want to, hold on. I don't know what's going on. Oh, here we go. I was trying to, I don't know, me and Julie, you know how good I am with tech.
No.
I'm like, it's like a dream.
Here.
Okay. Do you have your video, girl, available?
Yeah. How do I, let's see. How do I start video? Do I hit start video?
Yes. Oh, hello, gorgeous.
It worked.
We're both in shock. Ooh, the spectacles.
Oh, well, yeah.
How are you? I'm wearing glasses. I got LASIK.
Oh, you're so, I'm too chicken. Go ahead.
I did it, honestly. I did it, and I like told nobody I was going to do it. And if I would have, I wouldn't have done it.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I would have thought too much about it, I wouldn't have done it either. So I did my research, then I booked it. I didn't talk about it again. But I like your glass. You don't need to. I was like a blind person. Cool. There you go. I don't know how we're doing this. Okay, we're going to do it like that. Oh my God, it's so good to see you. I miss you.
I miss you too.
And I'm digging the red lips. Okay, so Julie, I would love... it's so fast. Like everybody has such, I can remember talking to you like it was yesterday. So, right? Oh my God. So Julie was in Weight Loss for Life last year. And, I mean, there's so much that was experienced and so much is different. So I would love to know if you could just share, you're like, girl. So can you just share a bit about who you were and what was going on for you and what life looked like for you before you joined the program?
Well, I have a blessed life. I have a very good life, but I was floundering. I just needed a direction. I was tired of, fighting the fight and listening to so much telling me to do this, do that, eat this, when, where, how to exercise. This, it was just so overwhelming. And I knew that I could do it. I just needed the direction. I needed one voice. I needed support. I needed accountability. And I knew that I was going to have a big life change coming up. And so I was like, I need to do this for me. So that's where I was. And it was, I was at the time, at the beginning, I was dealing with some anxiety and not handling my stress as well as I wanted to. I was putting so much pressure on myself, like you say, recovering perfectionists, and we're always a work in progress. And I am right there, number one, dealing with that kind of thing. But,
we all are.
Yeah. And so that's where I was in the beginning. So.
And what was going on with your weight? What had been your experience previously?
Well, I didn't have a whole lot to lose, but, and I think that I also had maybe some unrealistic ideas also, I think that I had been trying, and then I maybe wasn't as fully as committed and then I would not succeed, and then I'd beat yourself up about it, and then you try again, and it was just this back and forth cycle. And I was realizing I was losing trust in myself, was basically the way I felt, is that I wasn't trusting me. I wasn't listening to me. I didn't know really when and how I wanted to eat. I never really, I would try to eat because I thought that was the healthy way to eat, or it's because that's what they tell you to eat. So that's how I was at the beginning.
Yeah. And so what was it? Because I know like the first retreat for you was a huge breakthrough.
Yes. Hello, Suzanne. I'm so glad to hear your voice. Yes, I enjoy the retreat so much. I got so much out of it. It helped bring down some barriers that I have. Of course, like I said, I was afraid to be judged. I was afraid of failure. I was afraid of not succeeding, and it all pertains back to, that perfectionist side of us. Yeah. But no, the location was beautiful. Getting to meet you and putting, eye to eye contact, and it was wonderful. the women that I connected with, that, you know, I had been working with for, you know, several months, it was great to connect, and it was good to get away. It was good to have a little time for me for just a bit.
We get caught in the busy. Right?
Yes, and get a different perspective.
I'm so busy. I don't have time for me, which
right.
You really learn to make yourself a priority. So one of the things I would love if you could speak to, you know, what made you say yes to the program?
I guess because I knew I needed to invest in me. I knew I needed, you know, we have this one life, and I knew that there was so much more out there than what I was living or seeing or realizing, and that I had let some things hold me back. And so I think that's what was my driving force. I knew that I related to you, because I think we're drawn towards people that we want to emulate or that we admire. And so that's what I wanted. And I knew that with the work and the support that I could get there. So that's,
I mean, this girl, like, posting, I mean, jeans falling off, wearing a junior's jacket. I'm like, wait, you got a junior? Like, yeah, I mean, it was, but it, I mean, and also, I mean, there was so much more.
No, yeah. I mean,
I say the way, and I know that's what we initially want.
It is.
Yeah.
But there's so much more, you know, like you say, you have to be happy with you first before you can see the results. And that is true. Because we always think, oh, if I just lose, you know, this 10, 20, 15, 30, you know, whatever amount it is, then I'll be happy and everything will be perfect. Well, it doesn't work that way. And I wish it did, but it doesn't, you know. So that was I just knew that I needed to do it for me. And I had great support from my family. But more than just the weight, it was just, like I said, the relationships that I made and that I still have now, the confidence that I gained, allowing myself to be seen. There's no way I would be doing this a year ago. There was no way you could have gotten me on a webinar. But you know, I couldn't even take a selfie when we started. And now I'm like, selfie time, you know, so.
That's what I say, like, too. I'm like, the women in the group, like, remember I had you guys do like a video when you first got in? It was like, oh my God. By the end of the program, I was like, it was like you couldn't even find anybody in the feed, because it was like video, everyone's doing selfies. Look at me here. Yeah, it was just incredible.
Yeah. So I've gained so much more than just the weight loss, you know, and the gratitude, and, you know, and it is a working, you know, I still remind myself every day, you know, you still have those little voices that like to come up and pop up, and you've got to shut them down. And
you're human. We're human.
Do your gratitude, and taking care of yourself, and eating when you're hungry.
Sets now.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I was nervous at the end. I was scared. I was like, there were, you know, but I had the tools, and I use them daily, and I still follow you. I still listen to you. I still want it in my brain. You know, I want to hear it. So I'm still following you, and I'm still in contact with some of the ladies, and, you know, so that's the story.
I love it. And I hope they're always in the community.
Yes.
So I did want to say, when we're talking about, you know, your relationship with food, and in particular with tonight, what is your view now with food?
Now, I'm more in tune to when I'm hungry, when I'm not hungry. I now
recently sent me an email that you were still, you're losing weight and still feeling really good.
Uh-huh.
And your updates, I just loved receiving them.
Yeah, thank you. No, my relationship with food, when you've had a relationship with food like this for, I don't know, 20 something years, it's hard to, it's something you still have to continue to work on. But now I am more aware of when I'm hungry. I'm more aware of how full I need to feel to know to stop, that I'm full, I'm good, what I like to eat, and then how it's going to make me feel in the morning. Is it worth it? How bad do I want this? Or if I'm sitting, why am I, and that was another thing in the evenings. You say, you always like to eat in the evenings, or emotional this, or stress, relieve the stress. But you have to stop and think, why am I eating it? Feel the emotion, understand why you're eating or not eating it, or what's driving that force, and deal with that instead of running to the pantry. And I'm not going to say I'm 100% perfect at it, but it is like night and day from where I was a year ago. So
no one's 100%. Again,
but you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying.
Yes, but yeah, no. I mean, because I remember from where we were, and I'm just so proud of you. And I want everybody to just meet you. And most of all, the fact that you're here as somebody that did not ever want to be seen and was like, oh my dear God. And now you're like, yeah, I'll be there. It's incredible.
Thank you.
And I will talk to you soon, and I will see you in the group.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So what I want to do is I really want to get to step 3. So I want you to operate from who you want to be, not from who you are. So when we're going to step 3, it's about feel mentally and emotionally free from food. So one of the main things that we want to do in this process is really, again, being 100% in the space of recognizing, of operating from who you want to be, not who you are. So what I really want you to do is take time to think about who are you now versus who you want to be. So right now, all of the actions that you're taking they're aligned not with who you want to be. They're aligned with who you are, and they're coming from that place with intermittent actions of operating from who you want to be. So what that means, and how you'll really see that play out, is if you're not staying committed, you're having a hard time feeling motivated. If you say things like, I need more willpower or discipline. How do we do this? How do we shift and get to a place of operating from who we want to be, right, instead of who we are? What I want you to do, and really, is step 1 to this. So write this down, because I know we only have a few minutes left. And I become a pumpkin at a certain hour at night. And with me on East Coast time, I'm like, it's getting late for me. No, I'm like, no, but seriously it is. Okay, hold on. So I'm totally kidding. What I want for you guys to do is you are going to first just write down, who do I want to be, right? What actions am I taking that are in alignment? So first you're going to write down just who do I want to be at the top of the page, put a line. And I want you to write down, who do I want to be? I want to be somebody that's committed. I want to be fit. I want to be somebody that, food has no hold over me. I live life free. I fully express myself. I'm living aligned and on purpose. I feel what are those things? So you're going to do this, and I get that this is a lot. So you most likely are going to want to do this after the webinar. So you're going to put at the top of the page, who do I want to be? And then I really want you to sit there and think, okay, if I'm saying I want to be a fit person, what actions am I taking that are aligned with that? And really look at that and go, well, I go to the gym 2 days a week. Okay, well, is that aligned with a fit person? Do you see what I'm saying? So you start to notice my actions aren't in alignment with who I want to be. So I'm not operating from who I want to be. I'm operating from who I am currently, right? Which is something that I talk with you guys about, and you've heard me say, and this is about that model of, which I was sharing with you from Jim Horton, one of my mentors, which is the do, be, have versus the be, do, have. So we're we are in the process. What we teach in Weight Loss for Life, what I teach my private clients is change your identity, come from the space of being in order to do things differently, in order to have what you want, as opposed to doing things differently, i.e. dieting. I'm going to diet in order to lose weight and then have the results that I want. But you never changed your identity, which is why it never stuck, which is why you always go back, because the core belief isn't there. The identity isn't there. You don't identify with the fit person that lost weight easily and stays at that weight with ease, because you never actually went to that place, because you haven't reached that core. You haven't removed and taken away the emotional component. You haven't filled all your gaps. So what do we want to do? In order to operate from who we want to be, we actually have to start to look at, well, what is my way of being? And are my actions in alignment with who I want to be or with who I am right now? Because what you're going to see is, if you struggle with commitment and consistency and follow through, that's not just showing up for you in terms of food and your diet, it's showing up with you everywhere in your life. You're running late for things, right? You're starting and stopping things. Your follow through isn't there. You're saying that you want to do things, but you're not doing them. You signed up for programs in the past you haven't completed. So we actually have to look at that and say, okay, then clearly this isn't working. So again, I always go back to that quote from Aristotle that says, you can't shift, I'm paraphrasing, but you can't shift from a state of being that where you're at currently in terms of your mindset. You can't, meaning this, you can't expect yourself to bring yourself to new heights. You have to be led, because your conscious mind's only going to know what it knows. It doesn't know anything different. So although you can say you want things to be different, and although you can make all these lists and set all these goals, you won't follow through on them unless you either figure out that you're going to change your internal languaging on a consistent daily basis to repattern your thought patterns to then change your behaviors, or you're actually going to do a pattern interruption to change your behaviors in order to change your actions, in order to change your way of being. And those are the ways, that is how we feel mentally and emotionally free from food. So we have to implement this technique of recognizing, am I operating from who I am today, or am I operating from who I want to be? And if I'm operating from who I want to be, is it consistent, or are there gaps? And therein, when we identify those gaps, we identify what's missing. We identify what are those key components within us that then need to become the core within us that we build this upon. Does that make sense? So when we're looking at food and we're looking at weight, okay, I'm mentally and emotionally tied to these foods. You're mentally and emotionally tied to these foods because they're serving you on too many levels. And because they are coping mechanisms and a skill set of survival, right? So if we take them away, then there's survival, right? Then it's like you're in a jungle, right? with piranhas coming at you with no weapons. So you're going to just sit there and either just retreat and cover your eyes, but you're going to look for something to cover you. And more times than not, that's usually your weight. So how many of you have lost weight and felt uncomfortable with the attention you've gotten? How many of you have lost weight to then slowly sabotage yourself back with things like, I can eat this now, I deserve it, right? Or you quickly gain the weight back. So these things go on not because you want to hurt yourself and not because you're screwed up and not because something's wrong with you, simply because it's a pattern, it's a way of being that's more synonymous with you than the person that you want to be. So you identify more with the person that you are than the person that you want to be. And even though you feel this person that you want to be so deeply within you, she's not winning as much, because we have to change not only our languaging for her, but also the behaviors. And that's how we really operate from who we want to be, not who we are. And when we do that, that's when we feel mentally and emotionally free from food. And it's by using that technique that I just showed. And it's also by desensitizing and removing these concept of these good and these bad foods, right? And that goes back to step 2, where we consciously put the food on the plate, where we sit down in front of it, we acknowledge it before we eat it. We don't do it in front of the TV. We don't do it while standing up. We don't do it with the refrigerator door open. We don't do it out of the bag, right? And we do it when we're really hungry. And then we go back to step 1, which is taking control of our thoughts. Cancel, clear, delete. We stop it within 17 seconds. Joseph Campbell, go read that book. It's powerful, the power of the subconscious mind. And start to really repattern ourselves, or recognize if we're more prone in needing behavioral pattern interruptions, which you can learn more about in my 3-part video series. And honestly, we do all of this in depth in Weight Loss for Life. And we go through this and work with you on this really in-depthly and give you that opportunity, not only with your coach, but also in live coaching with me. So again, if you want that opportunity and you haven't yet applied, this is your chance, because we start orientation on Monday. So again, the link is there in the chat box. If you have any questions, you can email directly at support@melissacatherine.com. And I'm really trying to keep this to 90 minutes. I'm just in under the nose. I hope that you found this webinar super helpful. We have something else special coming for you next week. So keep an eye on your inbox for those of you that celebrate spring. I'm just going to say the word celebrate spring, or anything else that's coming up for you. No, but anybody with Easter, you know, just wishing you a beautiful, beautiful holiday. And spring is here. And so that's always something to celebrate, as is my birthday coming up. Hint, hint. So we'll be celebrating in that way as well. And also for Dawn and her birthday. So I just want to thank you again so much for being here. I hope you found this immensely helpful, and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you. I love having you as a part of this community. I sincerely, it's my deepest gratitude for allowing me to do what I love with so much passion and so much joy, and being of service to you fills my heart. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the Done with Diana group. I can't wait to see how this experiment goes tomorrow. Guys, remember to wake up and tell yourselves that today's going to be a great day, and just keep saying it all day long, every hour, on the hour, or as much as you possibly can. And I really can't wait to hear how tomorrow goes for you. I look forward to hearing that in the Done with Dieting group. Simply tag me, and let's celebrate one another and have a fantastic evening. Remember, tonight and going to sleep is the start of your new day. So already go to bed, make yourselves proud with a great tomorrow. Visualize your success and do that mind up before you go to sleep, and just be in complete gratitude, and you will have a beautiful rest-filled night. All right, much love to you.